Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, everyone. We'll be with you in just a few seconds. Enjoy the music. Good day. Good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Can you hear the music? Do you feel the music? This song is called You. A-E-I-O-U. It's about your voice. It's about springtime, new life, new opportunities. Welcome, everyone. It is elevation time once again. They call me Dr. B Serious. Coming to you live from the universe, the omniverse, the foreververse. I'd like to thank you all for arriving and taking this ride with us once again. Today we have a very special broadcast. So get some water, get your paper and pencils and pads, and open your mind. Call your friends, let them know. Make a post. Let them know that we're going live right now from elevation directly to you. If you're new, I'd like to welcome you. If you've been here before, welcome back. You're listening to the new groove, the new sounds from the Dr. B Serious Project, Medicine Music Collective Special Edition. This track is called You. A-E-I-O-U. Your voice. It's about that fifth chakra, your expression. Yes, this is a special combination of medicine music for healing, but it also is a jazzy groove, a smooth groove. Helps to electrify the nervous system. If you're here for the first time, please put it in the chat that you're here for the first time. And how did you hear about this program? IG, Facebook, TikTok, friends, family, or one of the many radio shows or other podcasts that we've been on. Let us know how you found out about us and where you are. In fact, everybody let us know where you're coming from, where you're going. What is your goal in life? Where would you like to be? And where are you now? Just a little more music as we get grounded, cleared. This track is tuned to A432. It's calibrated to the frequencies and the harmonics of the planet. Helps to regulate the heartbeat. It also incorporates a indigenous rhythm called Nyabinge. Nyabinge is a rhythm that is used a lot in the Caribbean by the Maroons, by the Rastas, by those who are free. The coherence of the brain, the heart, and the gut is really important. And the Nyabinge rhythm is what brings those together. Yes. Welcome. Like I said, if you're here for the first time, put it in the chat. Let us know that you're here for the first time. Nyabinge. Doom, doom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Chaka, chaka. Boom, boom. Heartbeat. The heartbeat. Boom, boom. Chaka, chaka. Boom, boom. Yes, that music can be found at elevationtime.com. That is a part of our medicine music series. You can download the music, you can listen, you can vibe. There's two different projects. There's the Medicine Music Collective. Then there's the Medicine Music Collective Special Edition, which this track is a part of, which is also a soundtrack for the book, What's Eating You. How many of you out there have the book, What's Eating You? How many of you know out there that there may be things that are eating us and sucking our energy and drawing our attention? And we're going to get into that today. But this music is a sound bed that helps to rejuvenate your original DNA, your original mitochondria. And this Medicine Music Collective, where we've taken different songs and different tracks that we've created here at Elevation Time Studio and put our own special slant on it, because I noticed that a lot of the, what they call healing and vibrational music it was okay, but it just seemed a little bland, and these tones that are supposed to do this and do that, and they do for the most part, but putting them to rhythm and putting melody and frequency and rhythm and playing them like your old songs that you remember hearing. That's like an old groove from like the from the 80s or the 70s. So it's healing music, medicine music, but it's tuned to the frequencies that help to reignite your nervous system and balance you. So, welcome everyone. And we're going to have a wonderful day today. We have a surprise. Something has happened. I don't know if many of you are feeling it, but there's a shift that has happened. And it's not just the shift of spring, which is very important, but it's a universal shift. There's a change happening, a renaissance. In fact, it's happening throughout our solar system. So you're going to have some challenge, and everything is connected to its opposite. But as we go through this change, there is a bit of turmoil, and we're feeling it, and we just got to stay in it and realize that all things are temporary and we are in a beautiful place. But, the clouds opened up, and all of a sudden we have a gift that has come. And this is a beautiful time to, plant seeds and actually create gifts. Our gifts are our, ability to be magical. And using our gifts is just amazing. Yeah, how many of you have the book, What's Eating You? How many of you have gotten your book, What's Eating You? What's your favorite chapter? What section of the book is really moving you? So as we move through the day, you can, put that in the chat. What moves you? What you're liking right now? What you're feeling? What parts of the book are you realizing that is something that could help you in your life? But right now, we're going to bring on a very special guest. This person is somebody that I've been connected with for many, many, many years. We've had radio shows together. We've done lectures and workshops together. She helped to organize our company Elevation many years ago when we were on Pico Boulevard. She's got so many things. She's a Reiki master. She is a meditation master. I'm going to let her tell you all the things that she is, because the list is pretty long. She's got so many, hands and so many different things that some of you actually have been involved with, but you didn't know that this person was behind the scenes. And now she is here working with us at Elevation. And I'd like to introduce our very special guest and co-host for today, Dawn Osborne. Dawn, where you at?
I'm right here. Hey,
Welcome,
good,
welcome, welcome.
good day, good day. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Um, Feels like old times
It
from
is.
our from our radio show days and the days at Elevation, popping into Agape and doing workshops over there um, with at Michael Beckwith's church. And so the beat goes on.
Yes, I like that. The beat goes on. I did a remix of that song. They had me do a remix for all the records that were on Solar Records, and the beat goes on was one of the remixes. And I heard the tracks. Whew,
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I
Right.
get it. The beat has to go on.
The beat has to go on.
My
It,
mother would always says, keep the music going until it doesn't, until you don't, or
right.
keep turning the pages of the book. Just keep turning the pages of life. So
Yeah.
anyway, y'all, this is Dawn Osborne, and I'm gonna let her maybe give us a little description of who you are, Dawn, and where you come from and where you going.
Well, I come from music, right? Music is music is where I come from. I'm the eldest daughter of Jeffrey Osborne, so music is ingrained in my soul. I'm coming from legendary R&B music roots. In addition to that, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a Reiki master teacher. Um, I've spent the last 30 years mastering funding acquisition on multiple levels for both for profit and nonprofit organizations, known to be able to bring millions of dollars into any entity, whether it's a for profit business and you're looking to acquire funds for growth through the SBA loans, or even just traditional loans, or you're a nonprofit organization and you're seeking grant funds to provide programs and services, whatever it is, millions of dollars is what I attract to whatever I touch. I think I'm just trying to remember it. We did an affirmation long time ago when we were at Elevation. And in that affirmation, I said, everything that I touch turns to gold. And so that affirmation lives on because I have since then raised hundreds of millions of dollars for both national and both domestic and international programs and projects. So, yeah, in addition to the clinical hypnotherapy and the Reiki, I am a funding acquisition expert.
It's interesting how we met. My business partner and I were looking to buy some Mercedes. So we were, you got to have that look out in California in the music business. So we said, let's get some Mercedes. We can't afford new ones right now. Let's get some used ones. In fact, the used ones actually was a better deal. And we were at the Mercedes dealer, and he was looking at some Dodge or something. I'm looking at the Mercedes. So why are we at the Mercedes dealer looking at these other cars? It was because it was up on a ramp. That's what it was. This other car was on a ramp and was facing up towards the moon. I was like, bro, let's get some Mercedes. And he was like, man, I don't know if we can afford it. And I went inside and I saw this sister sitting over there, and she just kept looking at us and watching us. And she was the only person that looked like us in the building. And I went over and I met her and I said, hey, she's like, well, what are you guys looking for? I said, we're looking to get some cars, a Mercedes. That was a Mercedes at the time. I don't know what it was, some supercar or something. And she was like, well, why buy one when you could get two for the price of one? Huh? We can get two cars for the price of one. And she started breaking down the finance world and the car world. And she started talking about, well, you guys have a corporation, right? I said, yeah, we have a corporation. She said, well, you can get a fleet. I said, a fleet? We don't need like 20 cars. We just need two. She says, anything more than one.
It's a fleet.
I was like, wow. And it was beautiful because she walked us through, and we did get two Mercedes. And they had sound systems, and I mean, they were laid out, you know what I'm saying, for the price of one, with bumper to bumper warranties like new cars. And that
Right.
just changed the whole perspective of who we were. I felt better as a business owner now, I've been driving a Honda Prelude, You pull up to certain meetings with a Honda Prelude, and they're like, wait a minute now, but yeah, sometimes your look or your vibe is important. And she broke that down. And since that time, she's been around all of the different businesses that I've been involved with, kind of like a butterfly, coming in and saying, hey guys, why are you only buying one computer when you could buy a whole fleet of computers? I don't think they call it that with computers, but
Right.
so when it comes to business, when it comes to natural health and metaphysics, she's got her hands in all of it, and she's just an amazing person. And like we mentioned earlier, we had a radio show many years ago. How many years ago was that radio show?
First of all, you were still in LA.
Yes.
And it had to be, the timeline just becomes a blur, right? When you've known someone for 30 years, the timeline becomes a blur. Yeah. And I only know it's over 30 years is because Lauren is 31.
Wow. Wow. Congratulations.
Right. And so I remember the workshops at Elevation. And we'd pack that little space out.
Mm-hmm.
And it continues. And the topics have been a wide array, from just the basic conversations about health and wellness and the basic cleanse, all the way to the sacred sexuality classes and all the things that we've done together over the years, right? And it consistently evolves, but and then talking about manifestation and money and moving people from fear, struggle, to empowerment through language.
Yes. And I figured that this would be a great time for us to link back up. And, for those of you who came out to the Divinity Codes event that we had with Billy Carson, what was that? Was that last weekend?
No, it was the first weekend in March.
You see how time is,
Right.
time is technically is definitely an illusion.
Right.
It's definitely an illusion. But yes, Dawn came out to see what was happening and to assess the situation and to talk about how we could take what we're doing to the next level. So we at Elevation, we now in our E2 phase. This is the new elevation where we're basically, we're not restarting, we're starting. A lot of times we feel like we're redoing something. We're always trying to go back and get something. I got to fix something. But if you could just leave a lot of the disagreeable or the struggle behind, even in our language, it changes everything. We don't have to go back and save anybody and save anything and prove anything to any. Sometimes we're trying to prove something to somebody that's not even on the planet anymore. It's just in our brains. So since we're in springtime not only the season in the Northern Hemisphere, but also universally, we're on the 26,000 year calendar. We're at the time that they call spring. Also, it is the 55th gene key where the dragonfly actually comes out of the water as a nymph and begins to become a dragonfly. We're also in the year of the fire horse on the Chinese calendar, which means, a horse is strong and you ride, but a fire horse, this is superpower. Right now, whatever we think, whatever we do, and whoever we are, it's extremely, it's like the velocity and the energy of it. It's happening fast. We're way past what we used to call the quickening. Remember the quickening?
Mm-hmm.
The quickening was, that right now is cool, but we're way past the quickening. We're at a time where our thoughts, our feelings, and everything are like seeds.
Right.
So we were thinking that this was a great time to talk about spring, since spring is right around the corner. Actually, spring is here. I don't think the birds and the bees were waiting for the calendar, because you know what's crazy? The leaves on the tree have opened in 3-4 days.
Right.
The birds are back. It's like it's happening fast. And we're just, we have these calendar events. And of course, the sun does cross the equator on the equinox, but I don't think the animals are waiting for that. They're doing what they're doing right now. And if we follow the vibes of nature, we need to be in it right now. Whatever we're going to do, we need to be planting those seeds right now so that we can harvest. And this is springtime, so let's spring forward. So today we're going to have a discussion. It's going to be back and forth. It's going to be fun like the old days. And y'all get your, writing tools and get comfortable. Get some water. We're going to have fun. So it's not going to be like an interview. It's just going to be a talker through. How's that? A talker through.
Instead
of an interview.
It's going to be a beautiful immersion of conversation that elevates.
Yes. I just got back from my my sister's second, going to university memorial. As some of you know, she made her transition, and we had a memorial in our hometown. A lot of family, a lot of friends came out, and the theme of the whole thing was "On the Wings of Love," your father's song.
Oh wow.
So her memorial, as the people are coming in, he's singing, he's there, singing that song that a lot of you should check out, because once we begin to use the wings of love, which we all have, we have them,
right?
But you got to get on them. You can't just have them sitting around and be talking about all the problems. And I was listening to the language of my family, because I hadn't been around this much family in a long time. And I just listened to the way we have been, almost cultured to talk.
Right.
Somebody would say, well, Dr. B, you're not going to eat the rest of that, are you? Instead of asking me for the thing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all don't have no paper towels, do you? We sometimes speak backwards, and our language, our words, our music, and their rhythm Everything in the universe is rhythm and sound and frequency. And frequency means how frequently something happens. So our daily movements are musical. Our language is musical. The tone of our voice is musical. And as I'm sitting here checking out spring, this is really interesting. I checked out how the birds and the crickets start making this sound right now in spring, which begins to open the flowers. You know, in the morning, flowers open based on the sounds of nature. It's the frequency that begins to create change in alchemy. So today we're talking about the alchemy of spring and things that we can do and things that we may need to look at so we can spring forward and not stay stuck where we were and take on this new time, this new space, this new opportunity with open arms on the wings of love. Back to you, Dawn.
Well, I mean, when you look at On the Wings of Love and you look at the what it is and what he's saying, I'm in the process of putting together a book, and it's called The Father and Daughter's Guide to Love, because I think there's far too many women that don't understand unconditional love as it comes from a man. And so by the time they get to engaging in relationships, there's so much confusion there. And so I decided to take the opportunity to share with the world the wonderful, beautiful, unconditional love that I've always received from my father, using my words as a writer and his words as a master lyricist, as a balladeer that sing about love, but also some of the examples that I've known in my life with him, how he took, and I'll give you just one example. He took this day that they call Valentine's Day, that is so over commercialized to mean so many things, that have so many women just sitting and pining and feeling lost, and oh my God, no one loves me because I didn't receive chocolate, I didn't receive flowers, I haven't gotten any candy. And a lot of women get really, really depressed on this day. And I'm never fazed by it, because since I was 12 years old, my father, for me, for my sisters, it used to be his mother and his wife, he always made sure that we had the biggest, most beautiful bouquet of flowers that came from him. And he professed that he would be our forever Valentine. And so he made it so that day never became something depressing if I was in a relationship or not in a relationship, if I had someone to bring me flowers or not. My biggest excitement was that my daddy, and I still call him daddy to this day, is sending me flowers, and they are coming. One year he was in China performing, and the flowers still showed up. And my son has taken on that, so that as we evolve, my father's 78, life just says he won't be here as long as I am. But my son has taken on the tradition, so I get flowers from him and my dad now. And so it's just something, it's a show up, but he implanted that unconditional love that says you don't need the commercialized emphasis of this day to be worthy of flowers and love, and you will always have it. And I never think about it. I have friends that do the whole Galentine's Day thing, and this bunch of women that get together and do Galentine, and I just never felt the need, because I knew that I had someone that loved me unconditionally and wanted to make sure that I was never feeling as though it didn't exist in my life. And so when I think of him and I think of the lyrics, even just the lyrics of On the Wings of Love, just smile for me and let the day begin. Whatever the lyrics are throughout that song, and the emphasis of just being able to allow the essence of love carry you through every single day. One, it's an honor. Two, love is simple, people complicated.
You know, one of the greatest memories I have, first of all, growing up with your father's music, you know, he's the love balladeer. You know what I'm saying? His songs were always about something that was going to help us and help, elevate us mentally, physically, and spiritually. And that to me is like medicine music. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
A lot of babies were made, and things like that. And he helped us through a lot of situations. So I remember my partner Tracy and I, we were teaching at UCLA, a music course. The what's it called? The urban music scene at UCLA. And we were, looking for guests to come in. And we called you and said, hey, you think you can get your father to come? And your father came out and everybody was asking him these questions. I mean, this is Jeffrey Osborne. I mean, we got questions. And he said, well, hold on now. He says, first of all, just remember that it's your heart that you have to be putting out there. It's not about the music and the business. You have to be open and willing to show your heart. And it's about what's in your heart. It's about the love that you have. And when I look at Valentine's Day, it was really interesting. I have an interesting story really quick. I was in love with this woman. We talked on the phone for months. And we didn't meet because we were in different cities. And finally we got together for this weekend, and it was Valentine's weekend, right? And I flew out to where she lived and everything. And now remember that we've only talked on the phone. I've never really hung out with her. We never had Valentine's before. But so I stopped on the way from the airport by the store, picked up some Valentine's candies. You got to, if you want to possibly even get a kiss, you got to have some Valentine's stuff.
Right.
I bought some Valentine's stuff. Right. And I went to See's Candy. That was the spot. They had balloons out front. They told the taxi, pull over. I bought all kinds of stuff from See's Candies. Got to her house. We met, we hugged, and I, ran back out to the taxi and grabbed all this stuff and brought it in. And she just looked at me. She says, what is this? I says, happy Valentine's Day. She says, See's Candy? You went to See's Candy? I said, yes. She said, you see, I don't like C's. I'm into Edermans. And if you really cared about me with all that stuff we've talked over the phone, you would know by now that I only like Edermans. So we ended up, this is the first time we're meeting. Right. Now we're in an argument about Valentine's, and it comes out that I don't want to do it anyway. I think this, who made this up? And I started talking about the roots of Valentine's Day and where it comes from, and the Romans and all of this stuff, and the chocolate candy, and she just was crazy. So guess what? Her subconscious came out. She was a monster. She had claws suddenly, you know what I'm saying? And I realized that, I needed to call another taxi. This is only maybe 20 minutes into us, supposedly relating. Well, we found out we didn't relate. But what we find a lot of times is we force our way into belief systems and ideas that's supposed to represent love. It's love because I said I love you. Right. But what is love? And I'm looking at the birds outside. I'm looking at the squirrels and the activity of spring. And it's love. It's love is in the air. Right. Especially in the northern hemisphere. This is when many of the animals go into estrus. That's when you want to be involved, because estrogen comes online and it wants to be, estrogen wants to meet some testosterone, and they might want to, have some offsprings. Right. But it's not just the idea of, intimacy and connective on a male female level. It's about planting seeds. Spring is about planting the seeds of love. What are you planting? Because this is an opportunity for us to plant the seeds that are going to create the outcome that we would like in life. And we've got a huge opportunity, because this is 2026. 2026 is a very, very special year. They call it a gateway year. It's the year when we get to reset. This is the Renaissance year, because 2027, they say everything flips. And you could see this is beginning to happen now. So we don't want to wait to 2027 to try to clean up and get right. It's to look at what is love. And love, for many of us, we need to look at ourselves first and have love for ourselves, and not try to buy some candies and buy some flowers and some balloons and find out that the balloons are going to pollute the ocean later. You know what I'm saying? All of these things. What is, in your heart? This is the season of love. And our
language, all the symbolisms. I mean, the symbolism of the ring and the symbolism of all the things that have become associated with love, or showing affection and love, and the simplicity of the energy of love, which is actually the highest vibration. Everything else is a derivative of that vibration. Love is the highest vibration. And so when you sit in that space and allow yourself just to vibrate in love, and you think of all of the things that have been connected to it that are just very heavy and weighty. Love is a light energy. It's the highest vibration, and you get to sit in that. And you know how there's like this euphoric feeling when you feel like you're in love? It's what that vibration carries, right? Everything else becomes heavy and weighted, and the emotion and the stuff and all of the things that pollute or convolute the vibration. And so when you think about the pureness of the vibration, and what is a convoluted vibration? It's distorted. Distortion in that vibration makes it so that it doesn't feel the same. You don't receive it the same. So when someone's saying, I love you, and they have all of these less than the disingenuine, that's what the word, all these disingenuine emotions attached to this pure vibration, it creates a shift. So if you sit in the simplicity of the vibration of love, that's what the medicine music is.
You know, I've had a definition for many years now of what love is to me. And I say love is life organically vibrating effortlessly.
I love that. That's
Love
it.
is life
That's a
organically
serious acronym.
vibrating effortlessly. You're not trying to be in it. You're not trying to convince somebody of it.
Right.
It's just happening. Like if you see a
Right.
beautiful flower or something that just hits your heart automatically, you don't have to fall in love with a flower or
Right.
fall in love with the ocean or the night sky or the sun or the birds. It's just automatic. Love is life organically. That means naturally, without any stimulus, without any, genetically modified orgasms. Did I say that? You know
You
about the
sure
GMOs?
did.
You know about the GMOs, right? The organically modified orgasms. So I'm glad that the woman was she didn't like the C's candies.
Right.
You see, she could have said, "Oh my God, these are great. Thank you so much." That would have been a genetically modified orgasm. How many times somebody gives you something and you just feel like you know what I'm saying? People just it's been in the past about being fake.
Right.
And just going along with the system so you can look good and feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But love to me is about being honest and natural and organic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you can control. It's not something you can fall in and fall out of. It's natural. We are in a place where we're in the season of love.
Right.
I'm talking about on the planet and also in the universe, because if you look at the last 6,000 years, you'll see there's a lot of symbolism that was not what you thought it was.
Right.
Many of the words that we use and the language that we use, it's not what you think it is. It's in English. It's in English. There's an angle on it. You see, I'm still trying to figure out why is it 24 letters and 48 sounds and G and J and this is why I was having big issues in school, because I was not really dyslexic. The system was dyslexic. It was backwards. So
everything is backwards. When you learn other languages and you get to begin to write other languages, you often wonder, well, why do we go through all of this to say it this way? Just learning Spanish and understanding that the way we speak, when you learn to write Spanish, you have to write backwards. You have to apply the phrases in a manner that is backwards in order to understand and learn this language, this other language. It's fascinating, but you can go into the whole thing with Babylon and all of those things when it comes to language and how language has been used to create confusion, right? Because if people are not confused, then you can institute a power because they're confused and be the savior. And that's a whole nother show.
That is. Looks like we're going to have a series here. This can't be a one-off because we're getting deep already.
Right.
But chronic confusion usually ends up with contusions. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be an argument. It's going to be pain because a lot of times we don't really know what each other's, really what we're really saying.
Right.
So when a person says, I love you, and you say, oh my God, I love you too. And one person might be thinking, I wasn't going to say it till they said it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it. And then sometimes, nobody says it because nobody said it first. Then the other person follows, then you have to say, I love you too. No, because a lot of times it's not really love. It's like a lot.
Right.
You're getting to like them a lot. We went and had the veggie lobster dinner and it was like, then we went to go have some Japanese food where one sea roll was $200. He spent $200 on a sea roll and it was raw right out the ocean. And, we went to, and we rode and we're looking for these things outside of ourselves to represent a natural organic vibration that is within us. Love is life organically vibrating effortlessly. Mm-hmm. So when I look at nature, that's what I see.
Right.
It's organic. It doesn't have to be forced. It's not fake. We don't have to wear plastic clothes and polyester, you know what I'm saying? And get things injected in our bodies and, you know what I'm saying? Get sheep's wool injected in our lips so our lips look bigger, so we look more voluptuous. Is that what it is? Is that lip? What it is?
Yeah, the voluptuous is the word, but I mean, there's so many injections going on now in so many different parts of the body. It's ridiculous.
You see what I'm saying? Enhancements. We need, but when we come into this world, we are BUT4. Mm-hmm. We're full of BUT. And when we begin to eat in a way that enhances our beauty, we talk in a way, we walk in a way, we become natural lovers. Mm-hmm. It's not some look. It's not some plastic fake up that we're wearing.
Right.
It's organic. And I love that spring brings this love vibration. But I also realize that, language, and I talk about this in the book, is can easily be a parasite.
Yes.
You see, the linguistic parasite thing is deep. And it's not, I know we like to point the finger and say, why? Who did it? Who did this to us? We have to get out of that and realize that we're allowing ourselves to be involved in certain things. We sign up for it. It says, please sign here. And sometimes you didn't even read what came before, please sign here.
We don't read. And so we don't understand the etymology of what we're saying because we are not taking into consideration any of what we're saying really means, right? And so how often have you sent someone a cleanse and you send them the pamphlet and they call you and ask you how to take it? Well, if you open that pamphlet and go to page 6, it gives you the instructions. Yeah, but I was just wondering if I should take it this way, and do I need to take it every day? And can I take them all at the same time? And do I need to put them in juice? All of that is in the pamphlet, ma'am or sir, but they don't read. And in this instant gratification time that we live in with everything on these gadgets that we carry everywhere we go.
Gadgets. That's old school.
Remember Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget. He had every gadget you could think of. Right. Take away the gadgets, he couldn't solve any crime at all. Just think of all of a sudden, the aliens come and the first thing they do is turn off all gadgets. I think there was a movie like this. It's lots of them. Turn off all the gadgets. And then you'll find out who and what you're dealing with. Because check it out. I was sent a love note a long love note. This was maybe 3 years ago. This woman she's been following me forever. She loved me, blah, blah, blah. She said, I'm going to send you a note. It was all emojis. The whole love letter was emojis.
Who does that?
She did it. She loves me. I started
So
looking
she
at this.
found every emoji she could to express it.
See, I understand a lot of people are government agents. They don't even know it. They work for the opposition. They don't even know it. They didn't go sign up with the government. They just live the life that they're told to live. You know what I'm saying? By the sheep herder. And the thing is, emojis, they live. Emojis live. I should know what these emojis mean. I'm
Either
from another world.
Or the all of the acronyms that the kids use.
Yes.
Can you just write in English, please? Well, not that that's that great, but can you just write in a language that I've learned to understand? Because these emojis and these acronyms are ridiculous.
And then people will send letters, and it's AI. You could tell it's AI because the language is too perfect.
Right.
Like, I'm talking to this brother, and he's like, yeah, brother, man, everything is cool, man. I really like what you're doing. I respect what you're doing, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to write something up on the product. The parasite cleanse changed my life, man. I got rid of my 300-pound parasite in my life, which was my wife. You know what I'm saying? I finally got rid of that parasite. And he's talking the regular urban language. Then he sends me a letter about the cleanse. And you could tell it was AI.
Right.
It didn't have any of the extra flair that we use in language because people have gotten lazy. But part of it is that this language, which is tricky, it's not bad, it's tricky, can get you caught up because language is like a parasite. So if we look at what is a parasite, it uses another being as a host. It uses the resources and energy or nutrition of the host. It feeds off the host. Right. The other thing a parasite does is it uses the host as a means of duplication, as a means of birth to multiply.
So if you're speaking this language, you're allowing it to multiply.
Yes.
And the hearers and those that hear what you're saying. That's deep, right? So when you look at the parasite, oh, wow. You got my mind going a million miles a minute because I'm thinking about language and I'm thinking about just the educational institution and what they teach our children, what they teach melanated children, what they don't teach melanated children, and the language that's there and how disempowering it is. That's really, really deep. It makes homeschooling so much more important.
I was talking to some of my cousins that last weekend, and they were telling me all the things that they desire, and I was just listening to how they talk. And people kept saying what they want. I said, well, if you listen to the frequency, the sound, and the energy of want, it's like a crashing plane. Want. Mm-hmm. Most people that want don't actually get what they actually desire. Right. Because they're wanting. Want has the energy in the vibration of desire without action.
Want has the energy and vibration of desire without action. Now let's let that really land, right? Think about what you just said. Want, it has the energy of desire without action. Because when I'm speaking to someone and I say, my highest desire is, they always sit back and look, right? So, you know me, when I'm teaching, I always tell people to think in ink. So I hope everyone has their pen and they're taking copious notes, like just notes that are very full because it's such a rich conversation. Because even as you're training yourself to speak, If you remove simple words like want from your vocabulary, you will shift what you are manifesting. You will actually shift into manifestation if you use the word desire, because now you're telling the universe what to deliver.
See, desire, if you just listen to it, the D, just the letter D, A, B, C, D, that's the fourth letter.
Mm-hmm.
So D is, you see, it looks pregnant. D is going to carry you to the next place, which is the 5,
Mm-hmm.
right? 4 is going to carry you to 5. D and 4 are all about art, culture, and becoming free and having a foundation of those things. That is the basis of a whole empire.
Right.
Art, being creative, and a lot of times what we're calling art may not be art, because art technically means art, heart and arms. If you look
What's
up
the resonance, the vibrational resonance of D?
D, E,
Right.
it's the throat.
Right.
5th chakra, D. Anything with E in it is going to hit that 5th chakra. The 5th chakra is important because it is the transducer. Okay, transducer is something that takes energy from one form and turns it into another. It's like a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the electrical impulses from your song and turns them into physical force so the speaker can move the air. It's a transducer.
Right. So it's a transducer, which, as we talk about alchemy, you see how this is all just blending and breaking down.
Yes. So energy is coming from the sky, from the cosmos through the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming through your chakra system, right? And it hits the throat. The throat is what transduces or transforms what we call cosmic energy into physical energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to get into the body.
Right.
So the throat is what takes that stuff out there that's metaphysical
Mm-hmm.
and those frequencies and turns it into a physical vibration, or kinesiology is based on the body. It makes it kinetic.
Right.
So your throat is that transducer. And then the throat also takes physical energy coming from your body, your feelings, sends them to the throat, and the throat turns them into cosmic energy. So when you speak,
mm-hmm.
you are admitting, you are wave casting into the quantum field what it is you think you desire. Now you may say, I wasn't asking for anything, but when you talk, you are asking.
Yes.
Or you're admitting.
Or you're creating.
You're creating.
You are creating. Your words are creating. So every time you speak, you should speak with intention, and we don't. And so if you're not speaking with intention, if people don't realize the power of what you say, you can speak delay into everything you do if you're not careful. And so I teach the people that work for me in my business. I need you to cancel, cut, clear, delete that statement as we're sitting at this table doing some strategic planning, because there's no room for that in this environment. So cancel, cut, clear, delete is something that I've implemented in many phases of my businesses with my staff, so that as we are co-creating, there's no room for disempowering language.
And what you're saying is so deep. And I'm glad you're on, because I talk about these things, but a lot of times I'm just, I almost in the past have assumed that people know what I'm talking about. So I remember I used to do lectures for 3-4 hours, sometimes 5. Remember the time I did like 6-hour lecture or something?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even let the people go to the bathroom, And you were like, Dr. B, listen, those little pieces that you have, we should just study and stay on one little piece.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Just one little piece. So now I've been working on that, and I'm glad that you're back on the scene so we can help with this. But this one piece is everything. It's the language. we have chosen, and we could say, well, we were taught to speak this way. Well, you have a choice because English is a language that can be used any kind of way.
Right.
You just have to be conscious, maybe speak, think 5 times before you speak. What are you really about to say? And do you even know what the words mean? Or do you even know what you truly desire? Because when I see clients, the first thing I ask them is, what do they desire? And they can't tell me. Even in the music in studio, somebody hires me to be a producer for a project. And I ask them, what do they want? They start telling me what they don't want. Well, I don't want a sad song, and I don't want a song that sounds like the Star Wars theme. I mean, what do you desire? Can you tell me what it is you desire in life? When folks come to me for health, they sometimes mention what they in no way desire. They don't want heart disease. They don't want to feel pain. If we could speak in a way which, our language kind of is like the captain of the ship that tells the rest of the body, which is the crew, all the cells, the trillions of cells, and every part of our body is listening to our words and how it vibrates. And words are vibrations. They're tone. It's music. It's frequency. What is your song? What song do you sing? There's words that we use every day habitually that actually are stopping you from reaching your flow. And like you say, the language of disempowerment, which we talk about a lot. So knowing how to speak something and being more simple and saying less sometimes, and sometimes just being silent,
right,
is very important, because you could cut your flow by just what you said. And when we do have a goal, be able to speak that goal very simply and clearly, so that even a 5-year-old can know what it is you desire.
I challenge people all the time, and I say, I need you to spend one entire day and remove the word not from your vocabulary for an entire day. That means you're removing not, do not, cannot, would not, could not. Remove it completely from your vocabulary for 24 hours. Consciously remove it. And they come back and their minds are blown. Because the average person only says what they do not want. What they undo all the things that they aspire or would like to do by using the word not continually throughout the day. Just try that for one day.
And they even say in psychiatry that not ties your brain in knots, ties your energy field up in knot.
So the word not, N-O-T, and the word not, K-N-O-T, right? So K-N-O-T is the knot that ties your brain in knots, and not is the word that tells your subconscious that it's a hard no. We're not going to do that.
Yes.
So just removing that, and when I use hypnotherapy, I will, because hypnotherapy is just suggestions. We find out the level of where your suggestibility is, and we use guided meditations to put in suggestions that change how you are going to do what you're going to do. So you tell us what you want. We find out your level and degree of suggestibility, and then we guide you through a meditative trance that implants what you do want. Right. And so, my play on do, because my initials are D-O, Dawn Osborne. So everything is do. Do is an action word. So we put you into action around your desires to help you truly manifest the things that you desire. What is your highest desire? And so we start with that, and then we use your level of suggestibility to move you into that place with permanency. Because I also record them so that you can replay them at any point. A lot of hypnotherapists will not give you recordings of your session, because then you eventually think you're not going to need them. No, I'm going to take you through phases. Phase 1, I want you to listen to this session for the next 3 days. And then in 7 days, you'll come back for phase 2. Gives you the opportunity to re-engage with what I'm doing, so that as we're reprogramming your subconscious mind and giving you new suggestions, they are actually have the opportunity to land, because repetition is what does it.
We have a huge opportunity right now. And once we are able to look and realize what's eating us,
Mm-hmm.
see the book, What's Eating You, which, by the way, is a bestseller, at least on our website. I think it's doing very well over on Amazon. But yeah, I want to thank all of you for, investing in the book. And I'd like to hear more about what you're learning from the book, and even send us testimonials about shifts and things and changes and things that you've used that actually have created a certain alchemy. The book is written in a way where it is kinesthetic, auditory, and visual.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also using psychological kinesiology in the book.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm speaking in a certain way. But some people say, well, Dr. B, this is written kind of weird. Well, it's a book that is causing the two sides of your brain to look at things differently. But the title, What's Eating You? Break free from mental, physical, and energetic parasites. How many of you have dealt with energetic parasites or are dealing with it? Just the language itself could eat you alive if you don't, if you're not thinking before you use it. And the other subtitle is The Journey from Opposition to Liberation. And I chose that because life, it's not, we always looking for peace and love. Everything is connected to its opposite. Everything. Up is connected to down. Rich is connected to poor. Black is connected to white. It's all about your angle. It's all about, as my father said, when you draw a line, right? This line, because my father was a draftsman and he was about drawing plans and having templates and blueprints to create an outcome.
Right.
So when we're building a building, there's going to be gravity.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that in your mind, that gravity, even you like a tall building, but gravity is going to be attempting to pull it down. So you put beams and supports and a foundation there that angles you in a direction where you'd like to go. Well, first we need to know, what is your goal?
Right.
What would you like? And being able to speak that, especially now in spring, we have a beautiful opportunity to build a great foundation. But first we got to know what could be holding us back. What could be automatically in the basement or the core of our subconscious that is in opposition to where we'd like to go or what we'd like. I'd like to be rich. A lot of people would like to be rich, but very few people, if you look at how many people in the world have actually achieved rich or wealth, because a lot of times they're looking at wealth as a money thing.
Right.
So the language can be used to empower you.
Right.
To liberate you. Language is going to be your liberator or your lockdown. So I think, lately it's been, especially after visiting family this past weekend, I just listened to the people. I was like, wow, this is interesting. And a lot of the conversation is about what we in no way like or want. Mm-hmm. It's about what the government is doing, about what they heard in the news, which is a story. Mm-hmm. You see, it's about it's a lot about gossip about other people. It's about pointing the finger. Mm-hmm. And the big one is it's about the enemy. It's about not looking at your part in things. Right. It's about being a victim. Like if we had another, political party, it would be Victocrat. Everybody's voting and talking about all the problems. I mean, that's almost how people vote and choose things together, based on fear, based on what they in no way desire. Mm-hmm. So this spring, what we're going to do together, everybody who's here, starting today, we're going to do just what Dawn said. Anything with the word not, should not, could not. You see how they're connected? These are opposites connected. What do you mean you should, but you should not?
Right.
Would
Well,
not,
just like you
could
said,
not.
when you ask someone what they want, they automatically tell you what they don't, which is do not want.
The body hears both.
Mm-hmm.
So you got one foot on the brake, one foot on the gas.
And you're
So,
not going nowhere fast.
well, I use this analogy a lot. It's like we get in a rowboat and we'd like to go somewhere in life. We like got things we want to do. We're in the rowboat and we're rowing like crazy. We row every day. We're working hard. We're worked up. We work up a sweat. But how many times have we noticed that you got to disconnect the boat from the dock?
Right.
It's still a rope connecting it, or you got to lift up the anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're just working like crazy, saying what you want and what you don't have, and how you're working hard. And I work out every day, but is your life changing? We have a beautiful opportunity to change everything right now. This spring, this time that we're in, there's never been a time like this before. So we can't use the past. It's brand new. We got to really grab things and opportunities that are here now, desirable opportunities in the air.
Right.
Which is why I'm really glad that, Dawn, you're back and this opportunity popped up and we said, hey, we're talking about business planning, right? Hey, didn't we have a show? Dawn, why don't you come on? Because Dawn is, she's a little modest. She's magical. She does a lot of things, but she helps me focus at times when I'm all over the place. So what we're focusing on right now is this thing about language, and we're zeroing in. So we're going to be having, some things come up. So make sure you're on the email list at elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. Also like and follow this YouTube, but go to elevationtime.com. Let me put the banner up and join the email list so that you can know when we're having these events. We have a lot of different events that we're putting together, and some things that you're not going to know about it unless you're a part of the secret order. Let's call it that.
And there will be events, and as Dr. B is talking about events, we'll have our webinars, we'll have our workshops, we'll have them in person, and we'll have them online. And we're planning a very, very special retreat, right? Where you'll have the opportunity to spend a couple of days. And we will be talking about all elements of what's eating you, right? Because there's so much in this book. And I've been asking Dr. B for countless number of years. Mind you, I said we've known each other for 30 years. I've spent at least the last 15 of those 30 years saying, when are you going to write a book?
That's right.
This book, I've got my Post-its and everything else in it, has so much information in it. So much information in it. When you think about the pillars that he has taken the time to break down in this book, when you talk about what's eating you, not just what's eating you physically, what's eating you mentally. What are you using? How are you using your language linguistically? When he talked about linguistic parasites, I wanted to throw the book, but I didn't want to let go of it. That's ingenious. A linguistic parasite. So when we're challenging you to remove the word not in any form from your vocabulary for 1 week, we're saying shed that linguistic parasite. So what I found is that what's eating you should be paired with the elevated parasite cleanse, because that's just my thing, and the music. Because when you meditate using the medicine music, and you're cleansing your body of parasites with the elevated cleanse, and you're reading this book, trifecta. Oh my, it's so powerful on so many levels. And in the past, we only had the benefit of the cleanses and listening to Dr. B when we could find him, and we'd be subject to finding an individual topic. What he's given you in this book is the opportunity to go topic by topic and to be able to read and um, ingest. You can ingest the words. They're so powerful. It's so powerful on so many levels because you get to keep it with you and you can go back and reread the chapter, right? And so just the chapter 19 on wake up and break free. And then there's steps in there, elevated action steps. This book is gold. It's golden. Oh my goodness. And then at the chapter before, when he gives you the new daily rhythm, pair that. So here, my goal is to create sound environments where mind, body, and spirit synchronize and reduce stress. This raises life force energy, increasing vitality so that we can rise above what's been eating us, creating total transformation. Let that land. Mind, body, and spirit synchronize and reduce stress. How many different things are you getting on TV and here and there talking about the reduction of stress? So if we just go to the power of what's eating you and use the tools within, get the medicine music, get the elevated total body cleanse, couple it with the book, and listen. And if you're really, really serious, get the medicine drum. We haven't even talked about the medicine drum today. But the tools that Dr. B has made available, and the way they, just with that one paragraph I only read, mind, body, and spirit synchronization, come on. Dr. B, I could go on and on about the book because I always tell people that when I'm going to write a grant for you, I have to internalize what you're presenting so that I can then sell it with my words via the grant to pull in funding. And so I've taken the liberty of internalizing what's eating you. And this is where I am with it, the dynamic of being able to have the mind, body, and spirit synchronization and call them pillars deeply embedded into a foundation. And we haven't even gotten to the core, right? And so, Dr. B, I'm going to let you take over because I've said a lot.
No, keep saying a lot. Let me just say this really quickly. There's something you used to say when you used to do your classes and workshops at Elevation. Because, Dawn was one of the teachers. We had many teachers. Elevation wasn't just about Dr. B teaching. We had several, facilitators, teachers, and guides, teach every week. So it was a beautiful thing. But the one that blew my mind was when you said, we have to celebrate the small successes.
Yes.
So just today, waking up has to be celebrated.
Yes.
Hearing this broadcast, celebrate. But we think that we have to celebrate when they told us to celebrate. They got these days on the calendar when you're supposed to go celebrate, which are basically financial holidays, and it's about commerce and mind control and all of that. But celebrating has been a deep thing. When I finally finished this book, and I talk about it in the book, how I cried and I screamed, and it took me 7 years. Actually, every time I talk to somebody within the company, they said, well, Dr. B, this is not a 7-year thing you've been doing. This is your event that happened in the Bermuda Triangle was 30 years ago. What are you talking about? So celebrating has been a big thing that I think when you vibrate your cells and you let your entire body know that you've achieved something. And I forgot how you said it, Dawn. Small celebrations do what?
Well, you have the simple small wins, and what they do is they confirm, they reaffirm that it's possible. It incites that this is all possible. I can do this, right? It gives you confidence. It builds confidence. It gives you reassurance that you're on the right track and you can win, right? Because winning sometimes seems like an impossibility, and we don't, even though we know we want to, we don't believe we can. So the small wins reaffirm that yes, you can. Yes, you can. Think about how Barack Obama's simple slogan was, yes, we can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And that became such a mantra that he won. Yes, 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 yes. So those small wins give you the yes, yes, yes.
So bringing this in now is important because as we begin to look at language, just when you go a day without knot, without
Hmm.
tying yourself in knots,
Hmm.
you celebrate,
Yes.
clap. If you don't celebrate, your body does not realize that anything has happened besides your ego saying, yeah, we did good.
Right.
But a physical, right, what they call kinesthetic, auditory, visual experience is a real celebration.
Right.
You're partying, you're dancing, you're saying yay. So this is an important thing this spring as we plant seeds that we celebrate. When you first start seeing your idea come through the earth and you got two little leaves from your seed, two little things that are going to make this big idea come, but you've got to celebrate each step. And
What happens in the body chemistry when you celebrate, when you excite, when you smile, when you bring about that joy? What happens? What does that create in the body?
well, there is a substance called serotonin.
Hmm.
Serotonin comes online when you have achieved something.
Hmm.
Now, here's the thing, a lot of times we don't think we've achieved anything
Right.
because we got a little company, we're getting a little loan. I got my little business. We start reducing and limiting everything. And we sometimes think that these little steps that we've made. Interesting, I had a client once, and this lady's husband was very wealthy, and she wanted to start her own business, but she was always doing stuff for her husband. So she never really got her business off the ground. So I was like, well, what business would you like to do? And she told me, I said, well, what have you done? She says, nothing. I said, here's what we're going to do. For the next 7 days, within the next 7 days, go to Office Depot, Staples, or something, and buy no more than $10 worth of supplies. She said, like what? I said, pencils, pens, paper, anything. Nothing more than $10. She said, but I need more than that for my business. I said, but just do that little bit
Right.
and then celebrate. The lady comes back the next week with a receipt of $300 worth of things she bought. She went from Staples to Office Depot. What was the other one? Office Max. She went to all of them. She had file cabinets. But what happened was she needed something she had to do, Dawn
Something.
Osborne. She had to go do. And when she did it, she got so excited. And I was telling her only spend $10. She began to invest in her business. And within the next 6 months, her business became very successful here in Buckhead, and it's still there. But
Hmm.
it was about her actually doing. A lot of times we're talking about something, but we're not doing it.
Right.
So spring is about not just talking about the seeds, planting seeds, and seeds are ideas that you're
Right.
planting in the universe, into the quantum field.
Hmm.
So celebrate just planting the seed. Celebrate just in no way saying do.
Right.
Celebrate that you're hearing this program, play this back, and celebrate every. We do a process. Akadama and I used to take folks on retreats and workshops, and we would have people celebrate, and they were like, "Well, what are we celebrating for?" I says, "All the things you haven't celebrated." Think about how many things you didn't celebrate because you didn't think it was big enough or important enough. Because there's these ideas of what is importance and this judgment in this world that, through the way we were, trained, what's big, what's small.
Give yourself permission to be great and celebrate you. What's
I agree.
eating you is a lack of celebration.
Yes.
right? What's eating you is you're not allowing. Allowing is a big thing, but we don't give ourselves permission to ascend. Not giving yourself permission to ascend is like wearing 300-pound weights on your shoes and not allowing yourself to naturally ascend because of your greatness. There's greatness in you. I always tell people it's not on me, it's in me. It's not in this shirt.
Mm.
It's coming from the inside. It's not on me, it's in me. But if you tie yourself down with a 300-pound weights on each foot, then you're not allowing yourself to ascend.
Wow. And that's what serotonin does. When serotonin comes online, that chemical says, this is amazing. We've done something because you've celebrated, you've vibrated your cells,
Mm-hmm.
and you've achieved. It doesn't know how big the achievement is. You see, you could have your first client, and the first client, you made $50. If you don't celebrate that, then the body, your field, your auric field yourself doesn't realize we've done anything because we reduce it. It was just a little client. It was just my first. It's not just, it's really big because it's a huge shift.
Right.
So celebrating success is important every day and using the language of celebration and celebrating other people's success.
Mm-hmm.
And what this does is the subconscious can't perceive or conceive of anything outside of self.
Right.
The subconscious can't perceive or conceive of anything outside of self. So if you celebrate other people's success, just happy, be joyful for them. Be joyful for them and say, wow, that was great. Right. Your body hears you talking to you. But if you're always talking about, well, I know how he got that business. He used to such and such, and he's used to be and blah, blah, blah. And we're mad and look at her hair. And, I don't think those boobies are hers. And, all this talk and judgment your body hears. Right. So you're speaking a language to your cells. You're using your fifth chakra. You're taking this talk and you're translating it to every cell in your body. Mm-hmm. And you're shutting down the channel of opportunity that could open up for you.
Right.
When you celebrate enough and you bring on enough serotonin, if now this is happening at the same time when love, right? When love is in the air, that's oxytocin. Oxytocin is the chemical that connects us in love. The pituitary, right? It says we need to connect. We need connection with other people. So this is why intimacy and nurturing is one of the, even in Maslow's chart, they talk about sex and intimacy is so important, or just nurturing, just being hugged, which is a type of intimacy. That oxytocin, which is the hormone of love and connection, connects with serotonin. Now you're going to be successful. Because your body's going to say, we need to do this again. This feels really good.
Right.
We're having an energetic spiritual orgasm. We've reached a point. We're arriving at something. We've done something. Right. You know what they say in church? Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? But until you do that, you're going to stay stuck. So in our languaging, it's also celebrating what we have done and who we are. And even some of the challenges that we've been through, celebrate them because they're making you who you are.
And so when you talk about the celebration, right? If you don't add the physical to it, where you are clapping, where you're celebrating, where you're bringing alive the cell. So let's think about celebration. You're bringing alive your cells and releasing the serotonin so that you create a shift. It's a natural internal pivot that's being created by your action because you're doing the celebration that activates a cellular response. Celebrate. There's a cellular response to the joy that you're releasing around this small win. When you do it and it becomes repetition, your body begins to realize that this consistent release of serotonin is a good thing, and you ascend.
So in spring, what's happening is love, the serotonin, the oxytocin naturally is more available in spring because spring says it's time to mate. It's time to create more of yourself. And sometimes it's just not about babies and children. It's about ideas, which are like children and babies. We have to begin to make love out of the things in our life that are not love, that may not look like love. Turn them through alchemy, take the base metals like lead and turn them into gold. Take all these different things in our lives that we talk about being bad and not good and what happened to me and the trauma. We go over and over and over about the trauma. We become trauma bonded to other people and have a traumatic relationship because
we become trauma bonded to ourselves because we repeat. It's the repetition. So we trauma bond ourselves by bonding to the past traumas that have happened in our reality by repeating them over and over again. So much so that even if what we're repeating isn't absolutely true and it's not absolutely how it happened, now we're locked into it because we've told the story over and over again.
And that repetition of a mindset, because remember, thoughts become words, words become actions, actions harden into character. I'm going to say it again. Thoughts become words, words become actions, actions hardened into character. So if your words are eating you, if your language is devouring your forward movement or your upward, you'd like to ascend, but you can't because you got 300-pound weights, 3 weights on your ankles with words, with ideas. And that's why we speak about these linguistic parasites in the book. And this is a really important chapter to realize that your words and how you say them and what you're thinking and the energy behind them can actually liberate you or create your lockdown.
So in the book, I'm trying to find the chapter, but I just have it marked. Are you ready to move from opposition to liberation and break free from parasites? No one is coming to save you. You must commit wholeheartedly to investing your own energy in transforming your life. Time for you to save you. The decision must come from you, not from fear or outside influences. Liberation begins with the movement. Say yes to your own evolution, to your elevation, to your liberation. Let's go. And then it goes into the elevated action steps. These elevated action steps are fire. When I say fire, I mean fire. I'm just going to go to number 3. Recognize the parasite voice, right? So the parasite voice speaks through fear, guilt, gossip, lack, dissatisfaction, blame, self-doubt, excuses, judgment, constant complaining, belittlement, deflection, and the disagreeable past. It disguises itself as logic, realism, or just how it is. Learn to notice them, become the hunter, and track down and eradicate the parasites that have been eating you alive. I do a thing with women. So first of all, I use Reiki, and I have an 11-step process that clears the temple wall. So when we talk about sacred sexuality, and we talk about the pen is, and we talk about what's being inscribed on the temple wall, I do a Reiki series with women to help clear the temple wall. I'm going to put a pin in that and leave that there. We'll revisit that at another time because it's a super powerful healing. But the other thing I do with women is when we talk about life organically vibrating effortlessly, love, I ask them to create a love language to speak to themselves. Because what I just talked about when I talked about this parasites, right? So when you talk about to recognize the parasite voice, most women speak to themselves with such judgment and belittlement and dissatisfaction and excuses and self-doubt and blame, that I ask them just to love on themselves in language. I want you to start with talking to yourself and telling yourself how beautiful you are and how wonderful your voice is and how sexy your hips are and all of the things, and they cannot do it.
Mm.
And so I start them with just love on yourself. And I want you just to say, let's say I'll just use my name, Dawn, you're so beautiful. And the way that that dress caresses your hips is so wonderful. And look at the way you have your toenails painted. And oh my goodness, the way you put that bun up. And I take them through every single step of just acknowledging their beauty, their inner beauty, their outer beauty. Before they can get halfway through, they are crying because they have never loved on themselves before. Getting a person to just love on themselves with their language is so empowering, but it breaks you down before it empowers you, because it makes you realize how you don't love on yourself with your language, how you use your language to tear yourself down, not even realizing it. Oh my God, I got to get my hair cut. Oh my goodness, I got to get this done. And this is terrible and that is terrible. We are going to love on ourselves. Dawn, you are absolutely beautiful. And because you're so beautiful, we're going to go get our nails done today. It's a total different feeling from, child, look at your hands. If you don't know, do something about those hands. No, you are absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to treat you to a manicure today.
Mm.
It's a different feeling because I'm loving on myself. And so walking someone through using the language to love on themselves and springing into a season of self-love. Woo! There we go. Let's spring into a season of self-love.
Wow. That's spring.
That's spring.
Spring up. New life is already happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of us, knowing it and feeling it and not getting caught in the language of the past. Recognize also how much you talk about the past.
Yes.
And you reference your life today based on the past.
You made a post yesterday about setting intentions in your water. Right? So when you talk about setting intentions in your water and you talk about the fact that we're moving into a new season, if you set your intentions in your water as we walk into this new season and you do a total body cleanse and speak into your water every day as you do this cleanse, using this book and loving on yourself, in 28 days, you will have cleansed your body on a basic level. I did the total body cleanse for 3 consecutive sessions, and it changed my life. Because what you said is, if you have a terminal illness, you should do 3 consecutive sessions. And what I took from that is, I have been putting these things into my body my whole life. So I am terminally full of things that I need to clear my body from. If you do the total body cleanse, whether it's elevated or not, for 3 consecutive sessions, change your language and charge your water, you'll be a different person in 90 days.
Interesting
and
thing.
really embody what's eating you.
The
I
huge one.
challenge Dr. B. I will do it. We can set it up. I will do it and mentor through elevation. However many people you say I need to mentor through this, to that purchased the cleanse and are committed to doing the 3 months of cleansing with this book. We can set it up. You can set it up however you want to, but it will change your life. But you got to be serious. And 90 days of that cleanse, you're going to be making your own salad dressing. You're going to be doing all the things because there's no sugar. 90 days no sugar will change your life. 90 days of the total body parasite cleanse, or whichever one, the total body cleanse, will change your life. 90 days of this book and those action steps will change your life. 90 days of programming your water will change your life. Dr. B and I have been talking about the path that we've walked together over the last 30 years, but the healing benefits of everything that is in that cleanse. And after I did that 90 days, I did the cleanse every single season too, because it's a seasonal thing. And it's a seasonal thing because why, Dr. B?
Because every season, everything changes in your body. Your body shifts based on the biological, energetic changes. Your body changes based on the season, just like the earth changes, the leaves and the trees begin to, appear right now. And then in winter and fall, there's these seasonal changes which are affecting our body. But parasites, they're seasonal too, especially when we're talking about systemic parasites. We're not just talking about the ones in the colon that the average cleanse is dealing with. We're talking about something that deals with systemic parasites throughout your system. And when the season changes, certain ones go to sleep. Like right now, the winter bugs are packing up their stuff. They're going to go to bed. They're going to hibernate. The spring parasites are a different group of beings. They're very intelligent. They've been around for 2.5 billion years, and they know your biorhythm. They know how you live. And this is why we say it's a 28-day program. It has to be because, first of all, it takes 28 days to interrupt their feeding, eating, and mating cycle. So now, Dawn mentioned a terminal illness. Did you know that we all, just by being here, have adapted and taken on a terminal illness by our language? Mm-hmm. A lot of us are sick terminally because how we termalize, how we use terms,
right?
Our language, our terms. I woke up just the other day and I had this dream where I was talking to Snoop Dogg and a bunch of the rappers out in Los Angeles, and they were asking me, could they put rap to my medicine music, which I've thought about, over the many years. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I woke up and the word that came to me, let me see, I got to find it because I wrote it down here. The word that came to me, where is it?
Contemplate.
Contemplate. That word was up. I need to contemplate the idea of having rappers and other people and even poets taking the medicine music and putting their slant, their thing, their talent on it, or their words. Contemplate is a deep word.
Yeah, it is.
Contemplate. First of all, it has to do with a template. Mm-hmm. A template is like a plan.
Right.
What is the template? What are you planning?
Right.
Contemplate means to think deeply, intentionally, and at length about something.
Right.
Or to consider it as a future possibility. It implies quiet, serious reflection, such as studying a problem. Studying a problem. Check that out. Studying a problem.
A problem.
Meditating or carefully observing something. Synonyms, how you say it? Include ponder, ruminate, deliberate, meditate, and muse. What are you contemplating?
Right.
What are we contemplating each day? And con has to do with, taking things and putting them together. A con has to do with connecting things.
Right.
A template, which actually comes down to the temple in your head. Mm-hmm. What are you praying for? What are you asking for? What are you singing? What is your song? All of those are contemplations. These are templates, your words, your sound. You're a musical instrument. What is your song? Right. You see? Contemplate, reflect upon. Check this out. This is the etymology. study, view mentally, meditate, from Latin contemplatus, or to past participle to complementary, to gaze attentively, to observe, to consider, to contemplate, originally to mark a space for observation, as agor does. I don't know what agor is. From assimilated con, which means to connect, or intensive prefixes, templum, the area of taking angles. What is your temple? This is deep. What is your template? Your language becomes your temple. Your thought becomes your temple. That's the temple at which you pray becomes your life. What are you praying at? And if you're praying at disagreeable language and about what you don't have and how bad it is in the world, that becomes the angle that your ship, your vessel takes in the ocean of life.
You know, one of the things you said at the beginning was view mentally. We look at things and we view things through our eyes. We're looking at things, we're observing outwardly. Viewing mentally is internally viewing. So if you're looking at studying a problem, you're internally viewing that. It's serious reflection, is what you said. And so it's considering it as a future possibility, but you said that it implies quiet, serious reflection. That's deep. To contemplate implies serious, quiet reflection.
Deep.
As you view it mentally. Wow. If you just let that land. So people say, I'm going to go think about something. I'm going to contemplate this. I'm going to spend some time in contemplation. That's a new thing for me, Dr. B. I'm going to spend some time in contemplation because you tell your subconscious mind that we're looking at this internally on a deeper level.
You see, what is your template? What is your blueprint? And it starts with your language and your thought that you're ruminating constantly. And we could change that in spring. In spring, you can now change everything, but that's why doing the cleanse is important, because your cells, right, are full of your old thought process. Your cells are full of your old way. So you have cellular memory, remembering how you used to live life. So spring is the time to let go. That's why the elevated program is important at this time. In fact, we've got a discount code for anybody that like to go to elevationtime.com right now and get the 18% off discount. And the code is spring 2026, all one word, for 18% off. And that's going to be up until Sunday at midnight, this Sunday at midnight. So that now, as we move into spring, you'll have your tools for ascension, your tools for transformation. You need the tools. If your body is toxic, you could change your language all day, but you got a body, right, that's talking from the past. Your feelings, your stuff, the inflammation, the parasites, the bacteria. And then, you know, for people that are going through the viral thing, because a lot of people took the jab and some didn't take the jab, but we have all the viruses that we ever had, all of them. People talk about, they got herpes. I said, well, you didn't catch herpes. You have chicken pox. And the chicken pox came from the chicken pox from the chicken pox shot, and also from eating chicken, which has the avian virus. And chicken pox and herpes is all part of an avian virus that comes from eating these birds that we weren't supposed to eat. I'm not saying we shouldn't eat any meat. I'm saying we got to be careful with these domesticated foods, which, we eat them in, like, this is our way of celebrating and family and love. We got to go. He took me out for a good chicken dinner. We had roasted chicken, and it's food and celebration and love. All this stuff connects.
I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying that they were having this party and they were going to have wings. And all I could hear Dr. B saying, all these companies have wings. How many birds does it take to get a plate of party wings? What happened to the rest of those birds? They're got party wings.
They're called downer birds they had to throw away because of diseases and things. So they have a lot of wings.
Party wings.
Party wings.
5 pounds of party wings.
And that's where they inject the hormones.
You got 5 pounds of party wings. Each chicken has 2 wings. How you got 5 pounds of party wings?
And
How is it possible?
Where's the rest of the chicken?
This math is not mathing.
So you end up becoming a chicken head.
Oh.
Something like, and listen to the way people talk. I was at an event, recently. It was a lot of people there, and I just sounded like chickens.
Exactly. But what's eating you? And now we're talking about solutions to bringing you back to being whole, changing your language, cleansing your body, and replenishing your mind daily. Dr. B and I were talking about the fact that people just don't read anymore. They'll get the whole cleanse and want to call and say, well, how do I do it? Read the instruction book. So there's so much power in reading. And so what's eating you? This gem is what I'm going to say. This gem is everything. Because it's written in a very simplistic manner too. It's very easy to take in. It's very easy to take in. And you got to start and take it in and realize that it's so that you're capable. You've got to do the cleanse. Because as you're reading this, as I've been reading it now, I'm like, I need my cleanse. I need my cleanse to be able to go with this and the medicine music. Because the 3 together create it's an alchemy. It's a magical alchemy. The 3 of them together is a magical alchemy.
And the other thing you've been saying almost every conversation we've had for the last week, my drum. And I need my drum. And when I get my drum, and I think she's letting me know when I put in the next order, make sure.
Yes, please, and thank you.
Her medicine drum is there.
Yes, please, and thank you.
And for those of you who are not aware, we just made history. Let me see how I can find this now. I think I'm in the wrong one. Our post about the medicine drum has gotten 800,000 views from all over the world. People checking out the medicine drum and watching me unpack the medicine drum. Let me look today and see right now. Whoa. Just since yesterday, we got 60,000 views of people watching the, unpacking of the first medicine drum. And for those of you who are not aware, we have a new instrument, and it's Dr. B's medicine drum 2 or medicine drum 432 tuning. It's a very special instrument. I talk about it on IG, so go over there and follow and check out this drum, this instrument, which we've been working on for many years. And I want to play it. But I also would like to say that we unveiled it last week at the Divinity Codes, event. I did a core subconscious alignment, a tuning, the core access experience, which we will be talking more about that too. The core access is about tapping into the deep you, and we use music and the sound of the drum now to take us into that theta state. And the first person to purchase the drum is online right now. Butterfly Kissed. Thank you very much, Butterfly. I see you out there. How are you enjoying your drum? This instrument, having it in your house, just having it in a room is medicine, because it vibrates to these frequencies that actually harmonize the room just without even playing it. And you don't have to be a musician, just sit it in the room, because the energy in our rooms is chaotic. the sounds, the frequencies, the paint, the rug, the TVs, having something that begins to just harmonize us to the room. And then having this drum, which is tuned to these sacred frequencies, the musical scale that we've created here has never been done in one instrument. There's 3 different scales. Scales are the way the notes are arranged. So there are people all over the world talking about this. Everybody wants one. They'd like to get one, and only certain people are going to be able to grab it because they know they need something. Like Dawn is saying, look, I'm going to get that drum. I need that drum. She's ready to go to the factory where we made them so she don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. The drum is amazing. So
amazing.
Even as you talk, the drum vibrates and it sends out these frequencies. So yes, you can also go to elevationtime.com if you'd like to invest in a drum. And you could even use, if you really on it, you can use your 18% off discount code until Sunday so that you now can, invest at a, more affordable way for you. But what I'd like to do, Dawn, is play just a little bit of the drum. And the drum creates language. Music is language. Your voice is language. This helps to correct your language, your mind. This is for people who are going through mental states of challenge. You can use this with people who are going through illness, folks who are possibly having memory challenges in their lives. You play the drum and it starts bringing you back. You're going through states of joy. You just like to feel the feeling of the universe flowing through you. The medicine drum is what it is. The medicine drum is medicine for you. So I'm just going to play a little bit and then we can come back to talking about it. And we may have a few questions we can answer and talk about the next show. Would that be okay?
That's going to be amazing. Let's go.
So I'm going to play a little bit of the drum. Can you see it? This is the drum. It's made of wood. It helps to balance both sides of your brain, your conscious and your subconscious. Your mental, physical, and cosmic self all becomes one in harmony as we attune to the drum. You hear those frequencies? Those harmonics? Now this, you're probably only getting 10% of the vibration because microphones, conventional microphones and electronics can't even transcend or translate this energy that is actually changing the shape and the energy of this room. Every note on here is going to connect to you at a certain level. So when you get your drum, you can just touch notes until you find one that resonates with you. And then you can create your own meditation. You don't have to be a musician to play, just have fun. I think I'm going to take this and record this and call this Equinox. That's what I think I'm going to do. This is Equinox, y'all. The change, equality, when the sun is over the equator, when the seasons are changing, and we become equal with ourselves, balanced with ourselves. Equilibrium, balance, homeostasis is what our bodies are calling for. It's what our minds are calling for. Creating equilibrium, being equal, being more balanced is the key. The medicine drum helps to balance, create equilibrium. It changes everything. It's not just an instrument. This is allowing the cosmos to flow through you, clearing many of the energetic frequencies that could be blocking you. So if you were to take your drum, read your book, do your 28-day elevated total body program, take the herbs that begin to clear out some of that toxicity. And earlier I mentioned something about X Factor, which is for, dealing with viruses. I was mentioning the Evian virus in this. We all have viruses in this. So a lot of people are taking the X Factor product and adding it to their program to help clear out some of those viruses. But there are mental viruses, mental parasites, physical and spiritual, and we have a system that can help you balance your life this spring. Let's spring forward. Back to you, Dawn.
I have a lot of background noise, but I was reading all of the comments as you were playing, and the comments were amazing. Yes, I will be taking new clients. Yes, the music is amazing. Yes, we are able to move into time and space. What I will say for now is you can email. It's really simple. I'm going to give you the simplest email. It's DawnOsborne777@gmail.com. We'll keep it simple because Dawn Osborne is on the screen. So DawnOsborne777@gmail.com. That's the simplest thing for us to do now. Let's move into a place where we are healing mind, body, and spirit. What's eating you is a tool that's going to enable you to heal mind, body, and spirit. The medicine music is a tool that would enable you to heal mind, body, and spirit. And the cleanse. So you just have to say yes. There's so much power in that word when we're talking about the language of our words. Just say yes, but say yes to you. Say yes to love. Say yes to your self-love. Love on yourself. So many of you were moved by just hearing loving on yourself. So love on yourself. Yes. Yes, and yes to loving on yourself. And so that's where I say we move into our power places by just loving on ourselves. Use the tools that have been made available and say yes to yourself.
Wow. And that's using the word yes in a beautiful way every day. and also learning to say no. It's important to say no, no thank you, and not involving yourself with things that are going to drain your energy. That's what the book talks about, is realizing what could be draining your energy, and slowly or even quickly alleviating those things from your life. So it's words, it's sounds, it's frequencies, it's certain foods, detoxification, even electronics. I talk in the book about, taking a break at certain times of the day from electronics, and learning how to make love out of the things in your life that are not love. Learning to, we always talk about how we need to fight. We need to fight disease. We need to fight the power. Let's stop fighting. As a musician, I don't work, I play. Let's play. Let's have some fun. And this is what this next section of life is going to be about, is learning to play. This new vibration. Play in the spring. Go get on the swings. How many of you have gone and just gotten on the swings? Go to the playground and play. The playground in your mind. Even if you can't physically get out there, just dream time and imagine that you're there. The things that you desire in life, you can achieve them by first imagining them. Imagine you're there. Feel it. Because, we always talk about these words and these mantras. What comes first is feeling as if you're there. And be grateful in advance. Be grateful for what you desire as if it's happening now. The medicine drum is happening now in your life. Everything in your life is medicine or poison. Your thoughts, your feelings, your relatings, and when we were trained to be into me. But then a lot of us have chronic servitude syndrome. We're always trying to help everybody else. Some folks can't wait to get this talk today and share it with other people and get them to believe in what Dr. B and Dawn are saying. And first, we have to love ourselves. That means to internalize it. Feel it as if it's happened. Be grateful as if it's happened. A lot of folks saying, Dr. B, I need that drum. Well, feel as if you have it, because there's no way I can record this thing and even play it and for you to feel it. And those of you who have felt it in person, there's nothing like it. There's never been an instrument like this before. There's never been anything like you before. Each one of us are beautifully unique, and we have special abilities. We're star material. We come from certain places in the galaxy, and we have taken on a lot of the human conditions. We've taken on a lot of the programming, and we've allowed that stuff to eat us. So get the book. Also, we now have the soundtrack for the book available. There also now is the audio book. We have the audio book, and I'm going to tell you a really good thing about learning. If you were to read the book and have the audio book playing, it works. Any information that you're reading and hearing goes into two different doorways. You see, if you can feel it, it's going to be kinesthetic. If you're hearing it, it's auditory. And if you're looking at it, it's visual. So as you take your life, look at how many kinesthetic, auditory, and visual experiences you can have based on imagination. But read the book and use the audio at the same time, and let the music play. Changes everything. And there's going to be certain parts of the book that are going to stand out for you, and share with your friends. Read it. There's teachers calling me right now who are actually saying they want to use this book in class. The back of the book, and let me just finish by saying this. There's a resource guide. The resource guide has got so much information. So many other authors, writers, movies, things that you can go and study yourself, so you can see where a lot of this is coming from. I'm just so grateful to have the foreword written by Dr. Michael Beckwith, who we've been friends for a long time, and also the section that I could go on and on about this book. And I would like everybody, as a gift to yourself, to go in and read it and look at yourself and find out what's eating you. And thank you for those of you. I just looked, and this morning, somebody else just invested in a drum. We've got one that was bought by somebody in Chiapas and down in Mexico. They live near the pyramids. They're going to do ceremonies and rituals near the pyramids with the drum. So if you're into doing ceremony, Reiki, Tai Chi, if you're into meditation, if you're into love making, the drum is yours and you can make your own music and play. But let's look at clearing out all the things we no longer desire to spring. It's called spring cleaning, detoxify. And a lot of times it's from our own stuff. So, Dawn, we're going to come back next week. You want to do this again?
We can do this again next week, and we can really look at just some more of what we've already spoken about. I think that being able to tap into the language on a deeper level, and maybe I'll bring just a um, simple guided meditation about just tapping into loving on you, right? Maybe we'll tap into self-love for the feminine energy. Maybe we'll do some of that next week, like really being able to, I always call it being sun-kissed, right? You love on yourself and you just move into that space of simply being sun-kissed. And so, yes, yes, and yes.
And speaking of the feminine energy, spring is considered a feminine vibration. And on that 26,000 year calendar, we are in the springtime of this new cycle. So that feminine just has to be, looked at as being more open, more
Mhm.
willing to change and flexible. It's really not about what our conventional thought of male and female it is that has been given to us, but being able to spring forward and have new life is about rebirth and new
Mhm.
birth and planting those seeds. So let's implant those seeds of love and harmony and gratitude.
Feminine energy is very receiving. We're receptors. So when you talk about allowing and receiving, we are naturally receptors, and so it's in gratitude that I'm so grateful to be able to come and share again next week.
And once again, for those of you who are not on our email list at elevationtime.com, please join the email list because we're going to have events and things that are only going to be folks known by folks on the email list. Also, if you'd like to become a member, you get 10% off of everything that you order on elevationtime.com. And once again, our discount code for this weekend is spring 2026. You'll receive 18% off of your order of everything over $99 or more up until this Sunday. So go treat yourself. It's springtime. Let's spring forward. Let's not wait for things to happen. Let's automatically start detoxing and letting things go. And this is the time to do that seasonal detox, the elevated total body program, which is systemic. So we're dealing with the entire system, not just the colon, not just one part, but treating the whole body and bringing nutrition and rejuvenating your entire life. This has been amazing. It's been great. We'll be back next week. And I would like to thank all of y'all for being here and being around. And like to thank you, Dawn, for coming on for the ride once again. And we are grateful. Much love to you. Love yourselves as much as we love you. Dawn, any last words before we go?
Just simply love. I just I'm in gratitude, and I will see you next week.
See you
Blessings.
next week. Everybody out there, remember, travel light. Most of that luggage is not yours. Allow yourself to be your best self. And we're going to take it out with the song I Allow, the new version, which is a part of the soundtrack. Allow yourself to open up, even allow yourself to say no. But most importantly, allow yourself to live in the present moment. Allow.
Allow. I allow.
I allow myself to be my best self, to be creative, and to let go. I allow myself to live an elevated life, to stay focused and clear, always moving towards a goal. I allow myself to let go and to learn to live and to grow. I allow myself time and space